Alright guys, Naz here. Just gonna do a quick vlog, whatever that might mean for this. I thought long and hard about how I was gonna do a vlog, if I was ever gonna do one. You know, I came up with a few weird gimmicks, like maybe I'd have like a little mascot there and I'd give him a silly voice or something like that, or do some weird gimmicky thing with it. But to be honest, I kind of just want to sort of keep this fairly intimate, you know, just sort of between me and you. Sort of like just sat here discussing a few things, mostly just to do with video stuff more than game stuff. I mean, if you want to hear about game stuff, we've got a podcast recording hopefully Sunday, but it all depends on how everybody's health holds up, which I'm not confident about, because we've tried in the past and it's not gone well. No, not really. So what do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk? I suppose I want to talk about the couple of videos we've done recently. Most importantly, the ones where I've done live action bits in there. Stuff like the Dark Souls video and the new Naughty Dog video game thing that we did. I had a lot of fun with those actually. It was weird, the ideas where they came from. The Dark Souls one, it was kind of because, you know, if you've seen the Hollow trailer, it's like the Hollow lullaby and it's so serious. It made me think a lot of an episode of the Simpsons, the Treehouse of Horror one, where Homer's sort of like wallowing in misery because he's doing the whole Edgar Allan Poe thing, doing like the Raven. It's like Wolf the Raven, and then Marge's hair and all sorts of silliness, and it just made me smile thinking of that, and thinking, well, Dark Souls takes stuff so super seriously. You know what it was like if you played it too much, you become like super serious yourself, to the point where you're sort of sat staring into space, into the abyss, just going, I'm going to die repeatedly and this game is bringing me down. Which is honestly not how I feel about Dark Souls. That's much more of a Last of Us thing, where I tried to play that as a big block. I had a week off, like free, and it was just kind of like, let's play The Last of Us, because that seems like a really awesome game, and it is, but it's so depressing that you can't play it for too long. So it's kind of like, I must take a break. I've been playing this for 3 hours. It's just so depressing. Jesus H. So you take a break and you come back and fresh air, and it's like, oh, it's fine, this game's amazing, and then it gets all sad again, and so on and so forth. So there was that. And what else? Oh yeah, the Naughty Dog video. The Naughty Dog video came about because I read the article that I put up in the video description from CVG, and it was like, there's hints everywhere, and you know, the nature of Easter eggs and the fact that you can overanalyze something into oblivion. I mean, that's what I was trying to say with that video, with the fact that if you look at something for long enough, it will eventually become something else. But I think I might be right in saying the established starlight thing could be a possibility, but I don't know. I've learned long ago that I'm not supposed to question the decisions of Naughty Dog, because they're so good at what they do. Although there is a lot of controversy going on about the fact that Amy Hennig, someone I really respect in the industry for writing games, she's departed from Naughty Dog, and it's all a bit weird and dark, and I don't want to get into that. It's so dark, and it's just, no, move outside, walk away from it. What else can I suppose I could show you a little bit of the process of what I do to come up with those videos, particularly the Naughty Dog one, I guess. What's important is to have a little whiteboard. That's always what I find is really useful to have. Mostly just writing ideas down. You just sketch them out on the whiteboard, and then they're there, and then just take a quick picture of the old camera, just go chink, take it away, have a walk, think about it, try and rearrange it, and you know, make it in a way that makes sense. I kind of find that helps a lot when I'm working out ideas for like those nice big videos that I do. I mean, I really do love doing the let's play, talk play, normal things, but at the same point in time, the experimental stuff that we do, the weird Dark Souls videos, the PS4 unboxings, stuff that's a bit more original, I guess. The stuff that's a bit more experimental and a bit different. I kind of really get excited about doing those. But I was excited about doing some South Park today, and Royal Mail and Amazon have failed me. which is a bit awkward on all sides. So hopefully that comes tomorrow, and then I'll do really long episodes. I'm thinking doing the same length for the South Park episode, so about 23 minutes an episode, and then just doing like a week of that. But I think that's just because I'm either dry on the ideas that I've come up with that I can feasibly do, or the ideas I want to do I just can't achieve. At the minute I'm knocking around an idea in my head of, like, you know, the top 5 video games that have never been made, and do like an art attack style thing. If you don't know what art attack is, it's basically a kids art show, and there's this guy Neil Buchanan. Well, it used to be him, and now it's somebody else. I've not seen any news, but growing up it was Neil Buchanan, and essentially you just see his hands, and he'd have like a pen or some craft work, and you'd see his hands and just like and just be sketching something out, or drawings, or like paper mache. A lot of paper mache in art attack, actually. It's really weird. But one of the jokes used to be, certainly among my group of friends, was the fact they weren't his real hands. I'm certain they were. I mean, it seems pointless to have somebody who can do art and present, and then just say, just present, and then somebody else's hands will do the art. It's just so weird. So I was thinking maybe just have like the hands alternating, get like, I don't know, a lady's hands in there, and like one lady, one man, or some odd and weird like that, and then just like riffing some really stupid, like the top 5 games that know, what you could like the headphone untangling simulator or something stupid like that. It's really daft, asinine game ideas that would never ever make it to market just because they're not particularly marketable. What else is kicking around in my head as an idea? I don't know. It's hard because you got to be, for these videos to work, you've got to be a bit media aware. You've got to be keeping in touch with the news and stuff that's going on in games, and just the news in general. I mean, we did a load of stuff, Civilization last night. I was doing some work with the Farblades and Humble and Bukimaru, aka Fox from the Talkplay podcast, and we were doing some things, and we were making some silly comments about the current situation in Russia and Ukraine, because it was like all that stuff going on there. It's just crazy what's going down at the minute. But yeah, you just got to be aware when you do those kinds of things. Hopefully next time I do one of these vlogs, I'll have something that hasn't already been out, and I'll be able to sort of show you, you know, truly what's kicking around at the minute and the ideas I'm trying to work out. But maybe that'll be for another day. I want to keep these things a bit short, but at the same time I want to give you information and stuff about, you know, what's going on, what I do. I should probably talk about, like, do some shoutouts or something like that, but I don't want to do it in terms of, like, you know, what channel is doing really good work at the minute. I'd rather sort of focus on series of like what people are doing, because then I can keep revisiting them and saying blah 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 blah, and then, you know, they're doing this at the minute and you should totally check it out because it's amazing. And it should be like that. There shouldn't be a kind of like, this person is great today. That's kind of the weird thing that goes on, particularly with like reviews of things. When you review something, it's just like, this is amazing now. It's kind of what sort of stunted the Shawshank Redemption when that came out. Everybody sort of like, the critic was like, oh, it's okay, whatever, and then like a year later it was like the most rented movie of the year, and it's just, that's an amazing movie. And it seems much better to do it the way I want to do it, sort of say, and here's some great stuff that they're doing, because I can come back to them in like weeks, months, years, whatever, and say, I've mentioned them in the past, but here's some of the great stuff they're doing now. God, that was really long-winded. It took me 2 minutes to get all that out, but finally get on to it. Firstly, I want to do a shout out to obviously the Humble Gamer. Mentioned him previously. Start to do a bit more collaborative work with people, and if you want to do some collab work with me or whatever, more than happy for you. I'm not too picky about getting footage or whatever, because I'd rather just be playing games with people. But Humble, obviously, doing Civ with him, done some Left 4 Dead with him. More importantly though, the stuff I'm watching of his at the minute is Thief. And now Thief is a game I'm really interested in watching, not interested in playing, mostly because stealth's not my thing really. I like stealth games that I can get out of, not stealth games that if I fuck up, bad things will happen to me. And even though Thief isn't kind of that game, it looks like a game that should be played with stealth in mind. And he's doing a really cool playthrough of that at the minute. And I'm really enjoying playing it, even if my like status doesn't see continue to say I like every single video in this playlist. Although I should just start liking playlists. That might be helpful. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe. But there's that. Who else? CrunchyWhale. He's doing one of his crazy plays once again. He's doing Sonic and Knuckles. That's the one I'm watching at the minute, because that's really cool. He's really informative about it. He's clearly played the Sonic games a lot more than I could ever hope to play them, and that's really cool, because that means you get to see a lot of things that you wouldn't otherwise see, and he just sounds like he's having a whale of a time. And it's always good when you actually hear somebody like having a good laugh and a whale of a time. It's something that doesn't come off quite as much when you're doing a single person playthrough as opposed to like a duel, because then you bounce off it. I mean, you just look at our Arkham videos. It's some of the best stuff we've done, I think, in terms of a let's play, just because there's always like someone's got something else to say and there's not too much silence and whatever. I'm plugging my own stuff again. This is ridiculous. So yeah, CrunchyWhale, Sonic and Knuckles, brilliant. And finally, I want to MGS Cobra Games. He's doing Rust. He's doing the Rust Chronicles, as he's calling them. And Rust is a game that's like super survival based. It's insane how hard that looks from a distance. But again, he's making it look like a lot of fun, and it's really really interesting to watch. And a lot of stuff announced that was going to be changed with the crafting system and a few other upgrades and stuff like that, because it's still in early access. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully he's going to do a couple of videos with those changed in mind, and keep doing them, because it looks like a really fascinating game. I mean, I think I've said the same thing about Starbound once, and if I haven't intentionally, I certainly am now. Starbound, again, it's another game in early access, but it's interesting to see how little that's evolved, but there's a lot of depth in there, because you know, they're two games at two different points in development. One looks very complete at the minute, Starbound, and the other, Rust, looks like it's being driven by fan feedback and people who are playing it, and they're going, okay, so they're doing it this way and blah 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 blah. There's no right or wrong with that. Each method has its own advantage and disadvantage, but it's interesting to see how those developments evolve, because the whole idea of early access is really the fact that you're beta testing you're essentially saying, I'm willing to play for this game now and be a part of its development, even though I know it's going to be buggy to hell. I don't think people appreciate quite how rough beta test and testing in general can be, because it's the fact that you've got to. Testing is weird. It's like you're looking at the door and go, okay, you need to exploit this door and test it, and it's like, okay, does the door open? The door does open. Does the door open from the other side? The door opens from the other side. Does the door open and close without you going through it? And you got to test in all sorts of weird ways. Can you run at the door without it falling over, or something stupid like that? And that's just the nature of testing. And bugs are going to slip through the Jesus Christ, slip through the cracks. But it's the way it goes. I mean, games are getting bigger all the time. We're complaining more that there are bugs in them, but that's just the nature. You can't test everything because it's just impossible to, and there are going to be bugs, and we have to start accepting that. Really, we have to accept that games taking a more PC approach in terms of, you know, they've got to get patched at some point or another. Fingers crossed. But I've talked too long about games there, haven't I? So what's the plan for the next week in terms of videos? Probably a lot of South Park. Probably will follow through my idea of doing a entire South Park week and just putting up 2, maybe even 3 videos a day. Maybe just to play catch up to people, because one of the hard things is a lot of YouTubers are sort of, particularly the big ones, are already playing this game and they've been playing it for weeks, and it's kind of like, oh, fair enough. What can I add to it? The only thing I can really add to it is an in-depth knowledge of the South Park world and the universe, and just the episodes, really. So that might be what I do, along with a few like really silly voices. What else? I think I'm gonna iron out a few really rough ideas. I've got like there are things to do, like it was brought up on Twitter the other night. Jeremy Clarkson. I was thinking like Jeremy Clarkson reviews games, and it's just like something like Hello Reach. It could be like Hello Reach has the best shield regeneration in the world, or something like that. Just him sort of like commenting on like the weirdest things, are like the best in the world, and look at this, and this stupid metaphor comes with it, and it's one of those really rough ideas that just comes from the fact that you can do a silly voice, and then it's kind of like, well, where can I go with that? But I feel the same. I really want to do like Watch Dogs being played by Batman, because those characters are quite similar, Aiden and Batman, in the sense that they're like vigilantes with super gadgets, and so it'd be really interesting to sort of see how that would play out. But again, that's another video idea with a silly voice, so I don't know how to iron that out really. But yeah, I think I've talked for long enough. I really wanted to keep this short, and I haven't kept it short. I've shot over by at least a minute of what I thought was going to be maximum. But thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, well, I think I'll just do this on a kind of when I can be asked type basis. But it's weird. Don't do often talking to the camera. Just try not to be too silly or whatever. But it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see how this develops as a thing, whether there be more community interaction or what. But I'm rounding up because I'm rambling now. So thank you for watching. If you want to get in touch with me, Twitter's the best way. I tweet a lot. Well, tweet a bit. Tweet a lot, whatever. There's that. Of course, you can always comment on the videos. I will always get back in touch with you if you send a tweet or a comment. I'll do my best to get on top of it. And if you have any questions about anything I've said, anything you want to ask me at all, like, you know, if you want to share what the weather's like, you know, what's the weather like down your end of the world? Oh, it's lovely and sunny. It is lovely and sunny down today, I'd have to admit. It's really nice today, and I don't want to be indoors making videos, but I am. But there we go. So again, thanks for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully catch you again soon. Alright then, cheers!